Okay, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Steam Wolf. This took place before Christmas, obviously, but with me living in England, it takes a lot longer for the DVDs to get here. I think it took about 3 weeks for this to arrive, so just finished watching it. I thought I'd give my quick thoughts on the show because I think it deserves it. So, first match was Candice LeRae, Famous B, and Chris Kadillak versus Freddy Bravo, Ray Rosas, and Peter Avalon. This was a typical PWG opener. It was fast-paced, high spots, mixed in with a bit of comedy here and there. It was a good match, actually. Peter Avalon's absolute comedy gold. I love that guy. And Candice LeRae's absolutely brilliant when she's in the ring with other guys. Gives it that sort of underdog feeling that the crowd always eat it up. So Chris Kadillak actually looked quite good. I'd never seen him before, but he had a couple of decent spots. One of them was where it looked like he was going to do a gory bomb, but turned it into a go to sleep. So he sort of spun him off his back and kneed him in the face, which looked really impressive. And also a shooting star cannonball, Pwg Steen style, that was really good as well. Pwg Steen was actually on commentary for this match, and he was fucking hilarious. When he asked how he'd recognise the different wrestlers, he just said, well, Candice LeRae's got a vagina, and left it at that. It was a fucking different class. Second match was TJ Perkins versus Rocky Romero. Never been a fan of Rocky Romero, to be honest, and this match proved wise. It was slow paced, it lost a lot of the crowd heat that had built up from the first match. And it was probably the worst match on the card, which it's not a bad match, it was just there was nothing memorable in it at all. So quickly moving on to a match that was memorable, the Fightin Taylor Boys versus the Rockness Monsters. I fucking love the Rockness Monsters, their quality, really over with the crowd as usual. Some cracking spots in this match. I love the Rockness Monsters spot where they do the leg lariat across the second rope, followed by the kick from the apron. They do it about 4 or 5 times in a row. It's really good. It gets me every time. Brian Cage Taylor looked really good in this match as well. He did a German suplex on Johnny Goodtime on the outside of the ring into the chairs that looked sick. And another moment that was really good was Goodtime did a suicide dive onto the outside, jumped straight back into the ring, ran across to the other side of the ring and dove out onto Ryan Taylor on the other side of the ring. That was a brilliant spot. This match was amazing. Star ratings for the show and the individual matches will be below, but this was one of the best matches of the night. After that, we had Davey Richards and Willie Mack. Willie Mack's got something, definitely. He's got that X factor. It's not quite sure what it is, can't put my finger on it, but he really gets your sympathy and gets you to care about him. I think it's probably a combination of the way he looks. He looks just like your average everyday bloke on the street, and also the fact that that he used to be a fan and he grew up a fan. It really, you can feel the crowd really get behind him. He's definitely got something special, I think. So this year, 2012, I'm expecting big things from Willie Mack. He's really fun to watch. It was a typical Davey Richards match, to be honest. A lot of near falls, too many near falls near the end of the match, and I don't know, there's something about Davey Richards that I don't quite get it. I know he's a great wrestler and all that, but sometimes I think it's that he tries too hard, and I think his matches end up being sort of cliche and a bit sort of cringeworthy, when in the last 5 minutes or so you've got near fall after near fall, kicking out 10 different finishers and doing these combination near falls where he does a German suplex off the top rope into an ankle lock, into a clothesline. It's all a bit sort of, I think he tries to make it look so real that it ends up looking overly fake, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I get that he's a great technical wrestler, but I think a lot of the time he just tries way too hard and just doesn't come off well. But it seems like he wants to have a 5-star match every single match, instead of just kind of slowing down a bit and just taking it easy in certain matches, because I think he could certainly benefit from just easing off a little bit. But it was a good match. Don't get me wrong, but I think Davey Richards just needs to tone it down a little bit, especially towards the end of the matches, because it turns into a near fall fest. It seems like every time. So anyway, next match was Ricochet and Chuck Taylor. This was a pretty weird match. I like this rivalry, but I don't know. It started off with comedy where they both went up to the opposite top rope on the opposite side of the ring and tried to jump and grab the belt that was hanging from the ceiling for the main event, the ladder match. And they both tried to sort of grab it, and I don't know. This comedy didn't really come off well, and then the match started slow. And there's something about Ricochet where he's sort of made a rod for his own back, I think, where if he does slow down a match and sort of chain wrestle, I think the crowd have become that accustomed to seeing the high spots and the high flying that they're sort of waiting for him to burst into life and hit all his spots, and it doesn't quite, the crowd go a bit flat. But it wasn't a bad match. Once the pace picked up sort of halfway through the match, it actually got really good. Ricochet is obviously his usual 630. Chuck Taylor got out the grenade and put it down Ricochet's trunks, which was pretty hilarious. But it was a good match. Once it got going, it was quite good. But like I say, I think Ricochet just sort of made a rod for his own back with his style, that when he tries to slow it down, it just doesn't come off right. So next match was the co-main event, which was the Young Bucks defending the PWG tag titles against Futureshock, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. This was their promotional debut in PWG. This was a fantastic match. The Young Bucks, I love the Young Bucks in PWG, sort of brash, cocky heels. I think they come off amazing. I think the crowd eat it up, and I love it every single time. They really are good in that role. The crowd was into this, sort of split half and half. Half of them was chanting for the Young Bucks, half of them chanting for Futureshock. I think the Young Bucks really are over in PWG. I love their work. There was a German suplex from Adam Cole in this match on Nick Jackson from the outside. They were sort of facing away from the ring, and he did a German suplex back onto the apron. Looked really sick. Looked actually really, really painful. It looked sick. It was a fantastic move. Standing ovation for Futureshock after the match, which they lost, but the crowd was sort of chanting, please come back, please come back. They gave a really good account of themselves. This was a fantastic match. I would say definitely 4.5 stars. Final ratings will be below, I'm not quite sure yet, but first impressions was that it was a brilliant match. So anyway, on to the main event, which was Pwg Steen defending the PWG World title against El Generico in a ladder match. This was, after just watching this, I've just got done watching it about 10 minutes ago, and I can't decide now whether I like it more than CM Punk and John Cena from Money in the Bank. I'm not sure, I'm undecided still. I think I would still go with Punk and Cena just because of the whole thing surrounding it, and when WWE does something right and they get it spot on, it normally is brilliant and it comes off well. So I think I would still probably edge that, but this was an absolute classic. This is one of the best ladder matches I've ever seen, and this is one of the best feuds that I've ever seen as well. It's still carrying on. It's been going on for over a year. I just love this feud. It's amazing. It's spanned across 2 promotions, PWG and ROH, and I think Pwg Steen is probably the best overall talent in wrestling today. I think his moveset, his storytelling, his facial expressions are unbelievable. He did a powerbomb on El Generico through 2 ladders and sort of fell back to the mat, just laughing his head off. He really did come across, and you think this guy's actually nuts. He really is nuts. And he plays that psycho role so well. I love him at the moment. And he's obviously back in ROH. I've just seen his promo. If you've not seen his promo from this week's ROH on Sinclair, check it out. It really is something. Obviously, so I'm not going to go over all the spots in the match, but the first ladder spot of the match was a backdrop by Steen onto Generico that split the ladder in two. That was the first spot of the match and really set the tone for how the match would go. It was, I can't say enough about this. This was certainly, like I say, if not the best match of the year, certainly sort of second best behind Cena and Punk. It was that good. And as I say, one of the best ladder matches I've ever seen. The ending was fucked up as well. That was amazing. The lights went out, and after Young Bucks had attacked Steen, cost him the title. Generico's the new champion, of course. So the Young Bucks are beating down Kevin Steen, and the lights go black, and there's Super Dragon standing over the Young Bucks. It really was sort of sent shivers up your spine. It was amazing. So this is one of the best PWG shows I've ever seen. Rating will be below, as I say. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to give it yet, but I would say it's probably my show of the year from 2011. Now I've seen it, obviously it's 2012, but looking back, I would say I like this overall. I like this more than Money in the Bank as an overall show. So yeah, if you've not bought it or if you've not seen it, can only recommend going out and buying this DVD. It might take a while to get there, especially if you're in England, but it's worth it. It's worth the wait, definitely. And I've just pre-ordered Kurt WrestleMania 3, so hopefully that won't take too long to get here, because at the moment PWG is my favourite promotion by a mile, so I can only recommend checking them out. And yeah, that's it. I'll be back. I'm planning on doing a Kevin Steen and El Generico, their best three matches, and sort of get into a bit more detail than I can do on these reviews of shows. So hopefully that video will be up soon. But thanks for watching anyway. See you later.